Chapter 8. I'll fill you in on the way. Just keep moving. Cassandra and Stephanie left directly from her house just after Bruce called them to meet him downtown. Stephanie made up an excuse for her mother and the two slipped out, both with uniforms tucked into a pair of backpacks. As they departed, Bruce was already explaining the situation. Robin was the one who took the ringleader at Vignaroli's art show, Bruce said. I let him get started, but when it was clear he didn't want to talk, I took things into my own hands. The voice of Oracle, Barbara Gordon, entered the digital conversation. Did my dad have anything new to offer you? He didn't know much about him, but I managed to get him talking. Called Vignaroli a filthy heretic. At this point, Bruce had shifted completely into his Batman voice. I did a little research online. Vignaroli described himself in an interview as a militant atheist, Barbara said. If you were right about these guys being some kind of zealots, this would definitely fit the bill. Trust me, Tim said. I think they're the real deal. The guy in charge had that tattoo. What did you say it was? Looked like a Nokian, Batman said. I've sent the photos to you, Oracle. See if you can try and confirm a match for this thing. Stephanie slipped into the conversation long enough to ask, What the heck is a Nokian? There was a silence between the five before Batman said, It's a language. A fictional language, Oracle said, frustrated. I just did a search for it, some kind of ridiculous code made up in the 16th century. How did you even recognize that? I've dealt with cults, and one's far beyond Gotham, Batman said. Enochian is popular with them. Oracle, did you get a hold of her yet? I've been calling, but she still hasn't picked up. I've got a bad feeling the show's already started. Keep trying. Batman's shout made Batgirl and Spoiler double-take as he did. Who is she? Batgirl looked towards Spoiler, who shrugged. Yeah, who is she? Zatanna, Tim said. She's in town, doing a show at the Carter Theater. Our fat-lipped friend mentioned his boss's next target was that witch before she leaves town. Do you have any leads on who their boss is? Oracle asked. I don't think we've ever seen this one before, Batman said, but only time will tell. He's a religious anarchy knockoff, Robin said. He might be a pain in the ass, but we've dealt with guys like him before. Let's hope you're right, Spoiler said. It's down there, Batgirl. She motioned toward a brightly lit theater sitting across the street from them. I know, Batgirl nodded. Both of their eyes turned toward the playhouse, as Batman and Robin landed a block away, then made their way towards them. Nobody's running out yet, Tim said. Unless they've really got the doors covered, they couldn't be attacking, but we should get in as quick as possible. If we're just marching in, Batman needs to be the one to kick down the door, Spoiler said. I about broke my foot the last time I tried that. Robin and Batgirl both snickered a little as Batman maintained his air of seriousness. Listen up. I've been to this theater before, Batman said. See up there? He pointed to a small observation deck on the third floor. It's the smoking section, been unused for years now. We'll start there. One by one, the four ascended the theater. The sound of clapping and laughter grew louder as they approached the door. Batman pulled on the handle and found it locked, but jerked it free on his second attempt. Robin, Spoiler, you two stick to the balconies. Your colors would attract too much attention. And whose fault is that? Robin uttered a tiny chuckle after he said it. Batgirl and I will cover the ground level, Batman said. If anyone looks suspicious, contact me. Batman couldn't finish his thought. As he spoke, there came a sudden roar of gunfire echoing through the auditorium. Screams quickly became audible. The Dark Knight scowled as he ran in and yelled, Never mind, just be careful. They heard a cry of, Leash! And the sound of bullets ricocheting off some kind of metal as the vigilante's three allies ran in after him. From the balcony, they saw at least 10 individuals, half covered in smoke, rifles in their hands as they slid in fresh bullets. A confused woman stood at the center of the stage, garbed in a black jacket and fishnet stockings. One hand held a wand, the other the fresh, bloody wound on her right shoulder. In a frenzy, Batman leapt from the balcony and smashed an extended foot into one of the nearest gunmen. His victim was knocked aside with a cry of pain. Batman grabbed the rifle that slipped from his hands and threw the bullets aside. The false prophet has arrived, one of the gunmen called to the others. Let him be, another yelled from one of the upper levels. Seraphim wants him alive. Just focus on the witch. Batgirl flung a batarang at the man's cheek and cut him off with his own shout. With a shot of her grappling hook, she closed the distance between the two balconies and kicked him in the stomach, put him in the ground. She closed the distance between the two balconies, kicked him in the stomach, put him to the ground, and knocked him unconscious with a well-aimed strike to his throat. His acolytes, however, one of the other would-be killers said as he raised his gun, they're free game, and he pulled the trigger. To corp el recba. Zatanna waved her wand. The bullets that assailed the air behind Batgirl stopped in mid-air, as if they'd suddenly smashed into an invisible wall. With another wave of her wand, another of her attackers caught fire, screamed, and desperately tried to strip off his burning jacket. Batman delivered a punch to his face as the flames dissipated, and the magician stepped forward to stand at his side. I sent you tickets to see this show, you know, she said. You could be watching from the audience. I'd have to forgo the Kevlar, Batman said. Have another trick up your sleeves ready. Looks like they're about to start firing again. From her place on the balcony, Batgirl saw Spoiler and Robin finishing off one target apiece, and then ducked behind the seats as another round of bullets fired from across the room. You're making this too hard. Zatanna chuckled as she waved her wand again and commanded, Maj et snug! Instantly the guns fell silent throughout the room. That elicited cries of confusion from their wielders, and allowed the five to quickly knock all of them unconscious in a few unexpected strikes. The audience had cleared, and the auditorium stood empty, save for the unconscious men and their opponents. Call at Shrewd. Zatanna motioned with her hands before she turned towards Batman. That should give us some time. Thanks for that, Bruce. How's your shoulder? He asked. You act like I've never been shot before. She laughed, moved her hand again, and said, Box. The blood of the wound coagulated. It'll be fine. What was all that about? We were investigating a string of murders across Gotham's underworld, usually inside jobs. There was a recent attack on an atheist artist a little while back, Maxie Zeus last night, and we got one of them to admit they were coming after you. What's the connection supposed to be? Zatanna asked. Batman was about to reply when there came several pounds at the door of the auditorium. Attacks repeated until the entrance finally gave way. 4 figures slowly filed in. As they came into view, Batgirl felt sure she wasn't the only one whose stomach churned at the sight of them. Each wore bright white costumes, all covered down the sides with feathers. The shape of perfectly contoured bodies decorated the front of the armored vests they wore. The 4, of varying heights, each wielded a separate weapon. And, most frighteningly, each wore freakish, animalistic masks. The shortest wore one that resembled an eagle, staring intently at its prey, short blades in each hand and a pistol at his side. The next wore a mask like the face of a roaring lion, a razor-tipped glove in one hand and a shotgun in the other. Third was a man with a face like an ox and what appeared to be a polearm. His gun, if he was carrying one like the others, was not visible from the way he stood. The last and tallest wore the mask of a beautiful, idealized man. He gripped a mace with both hands and glared in at the 5 of them. And just who are you supposed to be? Robin reached behind his cape and extended his bow as he spoke. The 4 spoke in unison, heightening the alarm they entered with. We are the faces of the cherubim, they said, escort to the seraphim, and harbingers of the wrath of God Almighty. I know the harbinger of God's wrath, Batman said. I think you 4 and your boss are just looking for attention. Insolent heretic, the 4 recited as they raised their weapons. Surrender yourselves now, or face judgment. I've gotten bad reviews on my shows before, Zatanna said as the 5 took stances of their own. And you're hardly the first people to try and kill me. But for a change, I've got backup tonight. Bring it.